All right, so we are going to make some tags. This is what we call a easy project, when you just want to make some art and you don't have a lot of time. You make a project, right? And so I wanted to show you Robyn McClendon's August printables. They are gorgeous. I say that every time, right? But they are gorgeous. Wait, I forgot. I have on this pretty pink dress, and here, let me let you see it real quick. Hold on. I have on this pretty pink dress, and I don't necessarily want to get it messed up, right? So I have in my studio, I have this little, I don't know what you call them. My grandma used to wear them. Are they called caftans or something? Anyway, it's a big dress, a muumuu dress. And I put it on over my clothes so that way I don't mess up my work clothes. Okay, so let me go back to my, let me go back to where we are. All right, so back to the printables. So this is her August set. There, of course, there's 13. I have printed off 13 on resume paper, and then I printed off like 5 of these special ones with metallic on onion skin because they were my favorites in the group. Okay, so let me just go through them real quick at this point. They're pretty. I love all her scripting. The more scripting, the better for me, because I really like having that piece of Robyn's art in my art. I make a mark. It's not a script. It's more of a tribal mark, so it's a little different than Robyn's marks, but I like incorporating her marks in my work. And this is one of my favorites. This is another of my favorites, and another of my favorites. I wish you could see the metallic as coming through. It's amazing. Very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is, I love her scripting here. This one is different. It's different. I like the pink. This one is nice. Nice. Very nice. And I believe she, on the Teachable, when you go to download it, she has an explanation of the process that she went through to make these. All right. So I had 2 ideas first for quick and easy projects. The first one is to just decorate these tags that already have ink on them. And the second was to show you how you can make a quick album out of a piece of what do you call it? Packing paper that you get in a package, right? That would have been fun. I just don't know if I have the time. Maybe we can get started on it. I really want to do this, so all right, that's what we're gonna do. But I am out of time. Okay, so we will pause and we will save this one for September. Okay, but we're gonna make these tags, and they're quick and easy projects. They're fun to have around because you can just throw them in a journal. And what I'm going to do, so you can see, I have these 4 tags that I made doing something, and they lend themselves. They match up with these papers, and the fact that they're orange and black and gold will go nicely with them. So what I'm going to do is, on the back of each of these, I am just literally going to cover them with not in a collage fashion at all, literally like I did with the book we made, the Langston Hughes book. Just cover the page, just create a background, complete background, utilizing the paper. Easy peasy, right? It doesn't get any better than that. And what will make it our own is what we do on top of it, right? So you see me pausing because I am looking for my glue. I have been painting large on the wall over here, and so a lot of my supplies are in the other room. But you guys know how I paint. Whatever's handy is what gets used. So I'm looking around to see what we do have handy. And of course, even though I had the pen in here, it seems a little clogged. And that's only because I'm recording, right? Of course. That's how it works. Okay. So last month, so we're in August now. Last month, in the month of July, I'm assuming most of you saw what was going on. I put on an event called Pass the Brush, and it was kind of a follow-on to a project that I had started called Unmuted. And my Unmuted project was a little backstory. The Unmuted project started because after the George Floyd murder, and there was a push, there was a call for justice, and one of the efforts or initiatives was called Muted. And Muted was an opportunity for white influencers on Instagram to go mute their voices to allow melanated voices to be amplified. Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, how pretty is that? Like, how simple was that? But how pretty is that? Oh my goodness. Okay. And I talk about it in a video with the process that went down, but I'm going to use these later to build the other side. Okay. I'm just talking while I work. I do love that side. All right, we'll do some of these first. We'll do another blank one. Anyway, so I quickly realized, well, hold on. If you guys are muting, and the problem or the challenge is, if you're muting to listen, but yet yet black artists are marginalized in our art community, then what are you actually listening to? So I spent a good 3 weeks on a campaign called Unmuted, where I was bringing attention to a lot of black artists who have been out there, who've been here, who've been in the community, and just, the algorithm of sorts, or our own color blindness, whatever you want to call it, have not been heard or seen, and it was just an opportunity to do it. Anyway, so that project then lend itself to a follow-on project. What happened was, I was trying to figure out, I had a three-pronged approach, because I am a strategist. And my first one was to address the individuals, my second was to address influencers, and my third approach was to address the industry. And so one of the influencers who I had tagged, Dina Wakely, she reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to do something, some kind of collaboration? And that's how we came up with Pass the Brush. And I remember when Dina asked me, well, you could take over my Instagram page and my social media and use my platform. And I was like, that'd be cool. However, I don't want to go alone, right? Like, I'll be one voice in a little sea versus if I bring 25 other black artists, then we can get some momentum. Anyway, I tell you all that to say, putting on that event was indeed a labor of love. It was very intense. The amount, I think I underestimated how much work goes into putting on an event like that. We had sponsors, industry sponsors. We had a giveaway. There was coordination of all the artists to make sure that they had what they needed to take over the social media. Let me just say, it was a lot of work. And when it was over, it was very rewarding to see, the impact that it was having, but I was exhausted. And so I just I had to go somewhere and just refuel and spend some time with my family, just because I needed some mental space. And I say all that to say, if you're wondering, well, where did Rachel go? We were like, see her every day, all day, and then she went silent. It was just I needed to recharge, because it was a lot. But it was very rewarding, and I'm very encouraged by the opportunities that have presented themselves because of that event. I'm very encouraged by the relationships that are forming with the artists that were paired. And I was laughing and telling one of my girlfriends, they were looking back at all of the pairings, and they were like, everybody was kind of paired perfectly. And I laughed at that, in that if you know me, you've been around me long enough, I'm a woman of faith. And so I start and end and all while I'm doing stuff, I was praying. And one of my prayers was, God, guide me on who should be paired up, because this can be an opportunity, can be challenging, right? To talk about race and to talk about prejudice, and it's a very touchy subject. And so I had requested, just what I was looking for was some kind of commonality already that existed between the artists, so that way they could immediately see that hey, we have stuff in common. Let's not focus so much on what appears to be different, and let's start with our commonality and let that be how we immediately can bond. Okay, so what I did, if you're watching and listening, is I covered the backs of these papers with, just straight up covered them with the printables. Okay, and then I'm turning them over, and now I'm going to take these scraps, and I'm feeling kind of linear today, probably because maybe I'm short on time, maybe, I don't know, but I'm feeling kind of linear. So I want to show you a project. My intent is to show you that you can make a project. It doesn't have to take an hour and a half to make a project. And one of the beautiful things about starting with the printable, like Robyn's Printables, is she's already given you a great base, right? If you use my printables, Robyn's Printables, there already is a great base that you can begin working with. And I think sometimes the hardest challenge is, okay, when you get to the studio, especially if you're pressed for time. Okay, so I'm back. When you don't have a lot of time, you can give yourself grace and make an easy project, right? Don't worry, I'm gonna make all that come together. And that was probably one of my learnings too, is that grace. We got to give ourselves more grace, right? Sometimes we think that the creations that we make have to be amazing, right? When really, oh look, that was about to be a mess up because I had all this white. That was not going to be pretty. I was talking about grace, right? Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We see people's work, art, and like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, and I wish I could never create like that. And so we put all of these restraints and constraints on ourselves, and it blocks us, right? And sometimes you just need to cut. Like, there's something therapeutic about just cutting. This piece probably won't be a masterpiece. It probably won't be anything. I definitely won't sell it. But I'm enjoying the process of making something, of creating something, and it might be a gift to somebody later. I don't know what its purpose is, but right now in this moment, the purpose is serving a purpose, and it is me relaxing and me spending some time with my glue and my scissors, and allowing the things that are on my mind to move around and find a way to express themselves. Right? I think that's what I guess my point is that, you know, is don't put so much pressure on yourself. Take advantage of the joy of literally just cutting, the joy of sitting here and creating something. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It literally can just be you gluing. You know, when you were little, you know, I look at Priscilla. Priscilla just likes to glue stuff, right? Like the act of gluing is the art. The joy of gluing is the art for Priscilla. And she reminds me that we have to just find pleasure in the little things. The act of cutting, of gluing, of seeing what is, just from the mirror. I mean, think about it. We can create something out of nothing, right? Right now, I am literally just using up the scraps. I'm no rhyme, no reason. I'm not looking for balance and composition. I am cutting and gluing. And however this show ends up is how it ends up. And I'm okay with it, because the point was is I made time for myself to do something that I enjoy, cutting and gluing and playing with pretty paint. I am conscious. I'm not totally zoned out. Like, I see that up here I have I liked. There we go. And you see, notice I work at lightning speed. I am not doing a whole lot of, ooh, is that the right move? Because there is no right move. There is a move, right? There is a move. There's no right move, but there is a move. I'm going to glue these pieces down here. Now, if you're wondering how I made these backgrounds, I think this one was me using one of my Indian blocks. And so you see the Indian block pattern in there. And I think I was cleaning off a plate. I keep these sorry, I was in the zone. I keep these tags next to my table so that when I'm jelly printing, I can just pull them up. I have them handy, accessible. I like that one. I like this one too. So I have four. I made four. I made four real quick. We got some more scraps here. We're just going to play with these scraps. I'm very linear today. I am. So let's talk about what I'm working on. So I have a huge project, which is probably why my head is still very, my energy is still very much, even though I am doing something that is relaxing and creative, I can feel that my own energy is, excuse my sniffling, my own energy is a little heavy, and that's only because I have another huge project in the works. And you know how when you have these huge projects, there's so much more, at least for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself that they're never just about me. They always are a little bit bigger than me, and so because of that, I have a lot of pressure on myself. Anyway, I'm working on this huge project. I'm really excited about it in the month of September, and I've kind of planned out the rest of the year, a number of huge projects, and so I just have to remind myself to make time for art, right? That keeps me balanced and sane. And all right, so you see me fiddling over here because I am looking for some paint to play with. And I really wanted my blue black paint, my favorite blue black, and I don't see it, which means it's probably in the next room. We'll just take some stencils that we have handy. You know, I always have stencils handy. I got some new stencils, and should I tell you guys a secret? Not yet, huh? Anyway, I have a secret and relates to stencils, but I can't share it with you yet. Just know that I have a huge secret that relates to stencils. Okay, that was not the color we were going for. I was looking for a dark, but hey, like as they say, hey, it is what it is, and we'll just roll with it now. We'll roll with it. Just getting some color on here. Now that I've done that, I've got to continue. So if you want to know what stencil this is one of these Stencil Girl Club stencils. It's just random, really, and I am just using it to put some color down. Ooh, this is pretty. All right, I have another one here, and that came in that set. So if you'll notice, I never stencil like the whole stencil. I use the stencils to create marks, but never like the whole stencil. Even when I'm jelly printing, I don't use the whole stencil. I use portions of the stencil. Again, I'm just creating some marks to make the page my own, and I'm playing with one color. And the reason I'm playing with one color in this set is to unify the pieces. And I wanted a different stencil, but I don't see any. Alrighty, just gonna put some up here. So this color that I'm using is called, this is the Muted Turquoise by Liquitex. I'm sorry. By Liquitex. I need to figure out how to stabilize my table because I do a lot of pouncing, right? That's just what I do by nature of the fact. I need another color. What other color do I want? What do I have handy? Well, I have a muted pink and the muted violet. I don't know what this pink is going to do. Let's just try it out. I don't know. I don't know. All right, we are 25 minutes, almost 20 minutes in. That's pretty. It's really a red, and they call it muted pink. That's awesome. because it's so not pink. It's so not pink. Right, and I just wanted to show you, we're going to try to finish this up in a couple of more minutes, because the point was to show you that you can just spend 30 minutes and you can create something okay, really? That's pretty. I do like this color. Yummy color. Yummy, yummy color. Ah, I can use it on this side. I can't use it on the other side because the other side is so orange. I mean, I guess I could. Let's try it, right? Let's see what it does. It's nice. You know, I'm a big fan of fire. Fire, so alrighty then. We still got some blue here, and I don't like to waste paint. So let's see what we got here. We can pick that blue up with something. Alrighty then. That's what we'll do. Just put it on there. That's one way to get rid of it. Put them fingers in there. I will tell you, there's nothing like finger painting. Nothing. It's like the best thing. Dabbing them fingers in there. Don't worry. Say what does the kid say? You didn't know you could stencil a finger? Yeah. See, so can. Say, but you're like, Rachel, but you have your thing right there. I know. Apparently my body just needed to paint with my fingers. It needed it. So we shall oblige. Okay, did we get it all? We did not get it all. We got most of it. Alrighty then. Did we at 30 minutes? We are close. We are very close. So let's just talk about what we did. We used some paper. We used some tags. We used two kinds of paint, 2 paints, 2 stencils. This is our supplies, right? Some glue, punchinella, some scissors, some tags, and we have these cute tags that we can put in Happy Mail. We can put in our journal. We can still keep working with them, right? You know, it wouldn't be a peace of mind if I didn't put my Seth After honey on it. So let's just go ahead and put the Seth After honey on it, just so that it can truly be. There we go. Look at that. Okay. If I had a black. Anybody know what color that was supposed to be? I don't know what that was. It is not black. Not black. So that's fine. That's fine. We still like it. Some of my marks on there so that you know it's mine. How are we on time? 30 minutes. Look at that. We're going to call this done. Alright? We'll put some Rachel's marks on there. Wouldn't be mine if it didn't have some of my marks. Just wouldn't be mine. We want it to be mine. Alrighty then. So 30-minute project. We made 4 tags, collage tags. Don't know what is in there, but we'll work with it. So let's see what we can do here. Since this is wet, because this is what we do, right? This is what we do when stuff mess up. I'm gonna put some of this infusion on there. Love. And you're like, really, Rachel? You couldn't leave well enough alone. I couldn't. I needed to see. Nice. Ooh, yummy. I'm gonna show you. Don't worry. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Oh, that's gorgeous. Right, so there we are. We have 4 tags in 30 minutes. Yay! And I like them. I really like this green over here. Like this should be a whole show in itself. And then you're like, Rachel, what are you doing? Messing up. Say messing up. But you know what? We know how to say this. So this is, now we've gone extra. Right? You can turn off now, unless you want to see how I'm going to unmess this up here. I am. I'm about to unmess it up. Watch me unmess it up. I just need a big stencil. Or even, I just need a new focal point. You're probably like, did she just pour paint on her bubble wrap? I did. Yo, for real, y'all. It normally is never that serious. Ever. Oh, love it. Now, somebody would be like, Rachel, how did you do that? And I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, why did you do that? Don't know that either. Just wanted some white. And I couldn't leave well enough. All right, so I fixed that part. Okay. Oh, you need some white now. I don't really like this big blob I have here of white. So what do we do when we have a blob? We unblob it. Only you all will know that that was not supposed to be there. What I've done is I've created this like texture spot. And I learned this little trick from Seth. We're going to put it on and take it off. There we go. And what we'll do now is we're gonna kick it back. Don't worry. Shay, don't worry about it, sweetheart. I am looking for something. I'm looking for a spray. I don't really want this color. I really don't. It did something to it, didn't it? But now I have to make it focal again. So there's a moral to this story. Too. Again, it just reinforces what I had started off by saying. Don't be so intent on making stuff pretty, right? When it's time for this thing to be perfect, I'll come back to it. I'll help it find its way. All right, we're done. Probably like, Rachel, these are the ugliest things I've ever seen. That was the point. The point was we wanted to create something quick. I like that side. I like this side. This side I fixed. I don't like this side. It needs some love on this side. But that side has to dry. Okay. So we made these tags, and I hope that you had fun. I had fun hanging out with you. I gotta go wash my hands and go to work. That's always fun for me because they always laugh. I know they're like, she been up in that studio. It is always a pleasure to hang out with you all. Let your stuff dry. Not like I just did. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.